Would you like to learn how to format your book for publishing? And I'm talking about ebook and print book? Then stay tuned to today's video. Hey, I'm Dale L. Roberts, best-selling author as well as a self-publishing advocate who wants to show you how to publish books that sell. And if you want that too, of course, subscribe to this channel and also join me every Monday at 12 p.m. at twitch.tv/self-publish. And if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe for free and get a few freebies in the process. Stick around to the very end because I do have a step-by-step resource guide if you want to do it all yourself. Now, just as a reminder, this is a continued part of the How to Publish a Book series that's exclusively sponsored by Fiverr. Fiverr's put together a fantastic ebook and bookstore for you, the author and self-publisher, and you can visit that store over at dalelinks.com/Fiverr. Remember, it's 2 R's. Now, already we've covered a few different steps in the process. We learned how to do the niche research as well as the keywords, how to produce the manuscript, and how to fully edit and proofread the manuscript. Now it's time for us to format the interior for ebook and print book, and also get the book cover design done for both the ebook and the print book. Now, admittedly, I'm not going to show you exactly how to format the book. I'm going to show you how to hire out. Again, at the very end, I'm going to show you a resource. But I would say hear me out on this because at least you'll understand some of the process when it comes to formatting your ebook and print book, and as well as getting your book cover design. Let's start out with step number 1, interior formatting. Again, we're going to want to make sure we get both of them done at the same time, get the ebook and the print book set. I see far too many people that will do one and not the other, and you're leaving a lot of money on the table, and also you're leaving a few readers out in the dark and out in the cold, because there's some people that prefer ebooks and there's some that prefer print and some that prefer to have both options. So we're going to go to dalelinks.com/Fiverr, then browse the book layout design gigs. You're going to select according to the genre, seller details, budget, and of course delivery time. Now, I never try to rush this process. I think that a good seller, a good freelancer is going to need time to put together something that's going to be quality for you. So never rush this process. So here's what I did. Actually, Fiverr recommended a few different sellers that have had a good background, a good sales history. So I thought, okay, I'll go ahead and pick one of the few of them that they sent to me. And I was pleasantly surprised by the person that I worked with. So I selected one and I communicated my needs in advance. Now, I wanted to make sure before I purchased the gig, unlike what I did with the editing gig, the last video, that I talked to them ahead and found out, okay, can they address my needs? I knew I was going to have some images. I thought I was going to probably go with more images, but I ended up with just having one image in the entire publication. Either way, this was important to me because I wanted to make sure that it was formatted properly in ebook and print book. And sometimes it can tend to be really labor intensive to actually put in pictures. I've done it myself, and I tell you, I would just rather pay someone to do it these days. So I ordered the gig, I filled out the details, and then I uploaded the manuscript. Within a few days, it was done, and he sent it back, and I think he thought I was going to probably volley it back towards his direction, but I was pleasantly surprised with the format, what he ended up choosing for the specific layout, and he put a couple little extra bells and whistles. I thought, man, that really is nice. It was eye-catching, and it got it to where I was able to go back through and read the manuscript that I'd already read because he did a great job, and especially with the typesetting. Now, a lot of people aren't very familiar with typesetting. Typesetting is where you're formatting it so it's better for the reading experience. I think a lot of people assume they can just go ahead and just take a document and slap it up and it's going to be good to go, but it does take a keen eye to get the typesetting set, and especially for print format. Here's the big kudos to the person I worked with. His name was Polar Bear. I'm not sure that's his real name, but Polar Bear did a fantastic job in formatting, and he was able to do different for the ebook and the print book, and he also included instructions. Now, I decided to download the instructions and read them, and it was essentially for newbies. So if you happen to be new to the business, he does walk you through from point A to point B with very, little, work in between. So it's really nice. Big kudos on that. Step number 2, book cover design. Okay, so again, we're going to account for the print book and the ebook cover. So I want to make sure that I went to one-stop shop. I want to get it all done. Now, it's going to be very likely that I may have to come back when I get the audiobook produced to have her fix the audiobook cover, but for right now, since I'm not launching the audiobook, I'm not going to sweat it. So what you're going to do is browse the book cover design gigs. You're going to select according to the genre, seller details, budget, and delivery time. Remember, don't rush this, all right? And especially the book cover. You need to make sure that the cover designer takes their time and it looks really good, so that this is going to be the thing that represents you, your brand, and your content, so it can make or break the success of your book. Here's what I did. Now, Fiverr gave me some recommendations, and they gave me a few just like in the previous one, and they actually recommended, of the 3, something pretty unique. It's called Fiverr Pro, and actually if you were to go over to dalelinks.com/Fiverr, you go into the bookstore, but if you see at the very top it says Fiverr Pro, select that, and you actually will go into very unique gigs. And Fiverr Pro is essentially professionals that have been personally vetted by the Fiverr headquarters. And in their words, they say, "We personally verify our pros to exceed your expectations. Put a pro in charge of your next project and prepare to be wowed." Okay, so with that type of, hype, I thought, let's go ahead, let's give it a shot, because I looked at this seller's work and oh my gosh, even the cheaper gigs were just phenomenal, but it does come at a bit of a higher premium. And since they stand behind these sellers, I said, there's got to be something to them. So I went ahead, I selected the one I wanted, and I communicated with her in advance. Her name was Florfie, and Florfie was just phenomenal. Honestly, I didn't pay a dime, and she spent quite a bit of time answering and addressing some issues and concerns that I had. I even gave her a link to each of the bestsellers lists so she can kind of go through my specific niche to see what is going to work out or where and how. And I wanted to make sure I had a book cover design that would honor that niche and not stand out like a sore thumb, but more so that it stands out and apart from the rest, so that way people are more apt to buy it. So I ordered the gig, and then I filled out the details. And we had a bit of back and forth dialogue, just some general, light things. And for me, I'm so strapped for time, I wanted to kind of give her the ball and have her run with things. So that's why I gave her a lot of the links to some of these book cover designs, so that way she can kind of get a general idea of some of the themes and what to shoot for. And within 4 days, it was done. She sent me inside the email inbox, she showed me a 3D rendering of it, as well as the ebook cover. Now here's what I would recommend is when you get a book cover in, don't approve the gig immediately. What you're going to do is open up the bestseller list for your specific categories and take a screenshot of it. Now take the image that you have, shrink it down, and put it into the bestseller list. It doesn't matter, you can put it number 1, number 2, number 8, doesn't matter. And just see, does it match? Does it, does it fit in? Is it something that seems right, like it's placed in the right area? And if it does, great. If not, you need to probably go back to your seller and request some revisions. To me, mine matched really well. By the way, stay tuned to this full video series because you're going to see the cover reveal in due time. Remember, don't rush it. The book cover is so important. This is one of those steps you just cannot breeze on past and say, well, that's good enough. I think I was fortunate in getting a seller that just nailed it on the first try. Hey, I told you can learn how to do it yourself, and in fact, I've actually got you loaded up with the DIY publishing course for beginners. You're gonna go over, hit that little button down over there. And also, hey, we're gonna go ahead and talk about how much does it cost to self-publish in 2020. So I'm gonna give you the entire cost of this whole project in this very next video. It's gonna be coming out here really soon. It'll be clickable down below. I will see you in the next video.